for joining today's forum discussion. Today we will be exploring a very important topic, how socioeconomic status influence students' educational opportunities and outcomes in the Malaysian context. As we all know, factors like family income, parents' education level, and social class can deeply impact a child's access to quality education, motivation, and academic success. Before we begin, let me briefly introduce our panelists. We have Madam Elvina, our school leader, who brings years of experience managing school in various communities. Miss Julia, a dedicated teacher, will offer insights from the classroom. Madam Ilya, representing the parent, will share how financial challenge affect home support. And finally, Miss Juvan, a community leader, will speak on community effort to support students. Thank you all for being here. The purpose of this forum is to share perspectives and gain a deeper understanding of how different groups respond to educational inequality. Let's begin with our first round of questions. I'll ask each of you a specific question. Madam Elvina, as a school leader, how does a lack of school resources in lower income area affect student learning and long-term outcome?
Thank you, moderator, for the questions. From my perspective, one of the biggest challenges in lower income areas is the lack of resources. Many rural and B40 schools receive limited funding, which leads to overcrowded classrooms, outdated facilities, and very poor access to things like computer or internet. Some don't even have proper science lab or libraries, making hand-on learning difficult. We also face teacher shortages, especially in subjects like science and maths. So, one teacher may handle multiple classes, affecting quality. As a result, students often perform poorly in exams like UPSR and PG3, limiting their chances of getting into top school or universities later. While small grant help, they usually below 10,000 ringgit, which doesn't go very far. We urgently need a funding system that considers the socio-economic background of students, so help goes where it's truly needed.
Thank you, Madam Elvina, for sharing that important perspective. Next, Miss Julia. As a teacher, how does a student's family background influence their behavior, motivation, or performance in class?
Thank you, moderator, for the question. In brief, a student family background greatly influences their behavior, motivation, and performance in the classroom. Students who come from stable and supportive family usually more disciplined, motivated, and academically successful. On the other hand, students from troubled family, such as those facing domestic conflict, financial hardship, or lack of parental attention, may struggle to focus, display negative behavior, and show less interest in learning. Therefore, as teacher, we need to better understand our student background. We should not be quick to judge students who display unusual behavior, but instead try to understand their situation and provide the appropriate support. Teacher must show empathy and offer the necessary guidance so that every student has a fair opportunity to success regardless of their background. Thank you.
Thank you for that real-world insight. Next, Ms. Jovan, as a community leader, what role can the community play in helping students from underprivileged backgrounds overcome educational challenges?
Thank you for the question. As a community leader, I am aware that the community also plays an important role in helping students from underprivileged backgrounds overcome challenges in education. In this regard, several efforts have been undertaken to address these educational challenges. As we know, Malaysia has the Adopt a School program, a government initiative where private companies, NGOs, or individuals take responsibility for specific schools to provide financial aid, equipment, and mentorship. This program is implemented to ensure that rural and underprivileged schools gain access to better facilities such as internet connectivity and learning materials. Another initiative is Teach for Malaysia. It is a non-governmental organization that deploys young graduates to teach in under-resourced schools. This organization collaborates with the Ministry of Education, corporate companies, and universities. However, there are also challenges in community efforts, such as the heavy reliance on short-term funding or external donations. Community initiatives, whether led by NGOs, religious institutions, corporations, or individuals, play a vital role in supporting students from disadvantaged backgrounds. Yet, for lasting impact, these efforts must be underpinned by stronger cross-sector collaboration and a commitment to sustainable development rather than short-term relief. It is equally important to empower and support parents, ensuring that families as a whole are uplifted. Thank you.
That's very encouraging. Thank you, Ms. Jovan, for sharing those initiatives. Now to Madam Ilya. As a parent, how do financial limitations affect your ability to support your child's education? For example, through tutoring, internet access, or school supplies.
Thank you for the question. As a parent's representative, I can say that financial struggles truly limit how we support our children's education. We can afford extra tuition, even though subjects like math and science are challenging for many children. Internet access at home is unstable because we only use a basic plan, which affects online learning. We also buy school supplies only when we have extra money. Sometimes our kids have to share books. As low income parents, we often face those choices between daily needs and education. More inclusive aid like voucher or school leadership would really helps our children stay on track. Thank you.
That's an important point about home support. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you all for our thoughtful and honest contribution. It's clear that socioeconomic factors play a major role in shaping students' educational experiences, but through collaboration between schools, families, and community, we can work together toward greater equity. That's all. Thank you.